Evan walked through the wide corridors of Arc Junction Station, looking at the strange mix of humans and aliens passing by. He had never been to a place like this before. The station floated near the edge of human space, and many species came here to trade, meet, or just pass through. For Evan, it was his first assignment as a technician on a station far from Earth. He had dreamed of adventure, but he had not expected it to start this quickly. He carried a small toolkit and a data pad. His job was simple: check the station's communication lines and repair small malfunctions. But as he walked, he could feel the eyes of some of the aliens on him. Some were curious, others were cautious. One tall, slender figure with dark skin and shining golden eyes stared at him longer than the others. He did not know it yet, but she would soon change everything about his life. Evan turned a corner too fast. He collided with someone. His toolkit clattered to the floor, and small tools rolled in every direction. He stumbled back. "I am so sorry," he said quickly. The alien woman he had bumped into did not move at first. Then she lifted her head, and Evan froze. She was taller than most humans, with long, strong limbs and armor that looked ceremonial but deadly. Her golden eyes glowed faintly in the corridor light. "You insulted me," she said in a voice that was calm but sharp. Like steel. Evan swallowed. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. Accident or not, you must answer for it," she said. Her hand rested near the hilt of a curved blade at her hip. Evan noticed the metal shimmered. Even though she had not drawn it, a small crowd had gathered. Other aliens and humans watched silently, waiting. Some whispered to each other, but no one moved closer. The rules here were clear. Disrespect could not be ignored. The woman stepped forward and raised her free hand. "You will duel me. That is the law of my people." Evan felt his heart race. Duel? But I am just a technician. I don't know how to fight. The woman's eyes narrowed. Ignorance is no excuse. Evan looked around. There was no one to help him. If he refused, he would dishonor himself, and the entire station would notice. He had read about human explorers being respected for their courage, not their skill. Maybe courage was enough. "Okay," he said quietly. "I accept." The woman smiled slightly, but it was not friendly. "Good. Stand there," she said, pointing to a marked space on the floor. Evan stepped into the space, feeling very small. The crowd moved back, forming a circle around them. Some of the humans whispered encouragement. "Stay calm, Evan. You can do this," one said. The woman drew her blade slowly. Its edge gleamed sharply. Evan noticed that he had no weapon. He took a deep breath, trying not to panic. Then, almost automatically, he rolled up his sleeve. The tattoo on his arm caught the light. It was not just a tattoo, it glowed faintly, like it had a soft energy inside it. The design was strange, with lines and circles forming a symbol he had never understood fully. He had it since childhood, appearing one morning after a dream he could barely remember. He had thought it was only his imagination. The woman stopped moving. Her golden eyes widened. She took a small step back, almost as if the air had shocked her. "Where did you get that mark?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Evan froze. He had not expected anyone to notice the tattoo, let alone react like that. I don't know," he said. "It has been with me since I was a child. I never understood it." The crowd was silent. Even the humans did not speak. Some of the aliens whispered to each other. Evan could see their lips moving, but he could not hear the words. The woman kept staring at his arm, her blade lowering slightly. Finally, she spoke. That mark belongs to the ancient protector. No human should have it." Evan's heart pounded. Ancient protector? That sounded like a legend, not a real thing. "Protector? I don't understand," he said. The woman shook her head. "It does not matter now. You are not my enemy, if what I think is true. Step back from the duel." Evan's knees felt weak. He looked at her carefully. Her face was still serious, but not angry anymore. She was studying him, trying to decide whether he was a threat. The crowd waited. Evan did not move at first. Then he stepped back slowly. The woman lowered her blade completely and took a step forward. "Come with me," she said. "You need to explain this. My name is Lyra. You are Evan, right?" Evan nodded. "Yes, I am Evan Miller." Lyra gestured to her advisor, a shorter alien with bright blue skin and sharp eyes. "Mira, help him understand. Keep him safe." Mira nodded and turned to Evan. "You are lucky," she said softly. "The mark you carry, it is very old. It is part of a story my people have told for centuries. If it is truly yours, you may be very important." Evan's mouth went dry. "Important? I am just a technician. I fix wires and panels. How could I be important?" Mira smiled gently. "Sometimes, the most ordinary people are the ones legends choose. Come, we will explain everything." Evan followed Lyra and Mira through narrow hallways, away from the curious crowd. His mind raced. He had dreamed of adventure, but he had never imagined it would be something like this. He had not even finished unpacking his belongings. Now, strangers were speaking of prophecies, legends, and hidden powers. Finally, they reached a quiet chamber, softly lit with warm light. Lyra motioned for him to sit. Mira began to speak. "The symbol you carry is very old. It comes from a civilization that is almost forgotten. Long ago, humans and my people were part of a distant network of worlds. Your mark is linked to a protector, someone who is chosen when danger comes." Evan shook his head. "I don't understand. I didn't choose this. I just have a tattoo. I dreamed about it once when I was a kid, but that was all." Lyra leaned forward. "Dreams are sometimes more than they seem. The protector is chosen before they even know it. You may not know why yet, but the mark responded the moment I saw it." Evan looked down at his arm. The tattoo pulsed faintly, though he had not touched it. A strange warmth ran through his skin, and he felt a pull he could not explain. "What is it doing?" he asked quietly. Mira glanced at Lyra. "It senses something. It has always been a guide for the protector. If danger approaches, it will warn them. You may feel it again soon." Evan swallowed. He had not asked for this, but somehow he felt it was real. "I don't know if I can do this," he said. Lyra's golden eyes softened. "You may not have a choice. But you will not be alone. I will help you." Evan nodded slowly. The weight of the moment pressed on him, but he felt a small spark of courage. For the first time in his life, he realized he might be more than he had ever imagined. Mira placed a hand on his shoulder. "Rest for now. We will explain everything in the morning. But remember, your mark is special. It will guide you when the time comes." Evan sat back, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. The station outside hummed quietly, unaware of the storm that was beginning in its corridors. Somewhere out there, the forces that legends spoke of were moving, and Evan, the ordinary technician, was now a part of something far bigger than himself. As he looked at his tattoo one last time before closing his eyes, he felt a strange warmth and a faint energy pulsing from it. He had no idea what was ahead, but for the first time, he knew he was no longer just a visitor in the galaxy. He was part of its story. The morning light filled the chamber as Evan woke. The walls of the room were smooth and curved, made from a material he did not recognize. Outside, the station hummed with life. Ships moved slowly in the docking bays, and alien voices echoed faintly down the hallways. Evan sat up and rubbed his eyes. The events of the night still felt unreal. He had come to a space station to work as a simple technician, and now he was being told that his tattoo marked him as an ancient protector. Lyra was already waiting for him. She stood near the window, looking out at the stars, Her golden eyes reflected the distant light of a nearby planet. Mira, her advisor, was arranging some small devices on a table. Both of them turned as Evan entered. "Good morning," Lyra said, her voice calm. "You slept well?" Evan shrugged. "I think so. But I barely understand what is happening. What do you mean by protector? And why does my tattoo matter to your people?" Mira gestured for him to sit. "Your tattoo is part of a story that is older than any record we keep. Long ago, humans and my ancestors shared knowledge and technology. You are part of that story, even if you do not remember." Evan frowned. "I remember nothing. I just dreamed of a bright figure once. And the next morning, I had this tattoo. I never knew what it meant." Lyra nodded slowly. "Dreams are often a way to guide the protector. The figure you saw is a symbol of the one chosen to protect both human and our people when danger comes. Your tattoo appeared because you were chosen, even before you knew it." Evan shook his head. "I am not a fighter. I cannot protect anyone." "You underestimate yourself," Lyra said. "Being chosen does not mean you are trained or strong. It means you have the courage and the will to act when the moment comes. You may not know it yet, but your decisions will matter." Evan looked at his arm. The tattoo seemed to pulse softly. A warm energy ran through him, faint but certain. He felt connected to something bigger than himself, something he could not see but could sense. Mira leaned forward. "You need to understand what is coming. There are forces that have been waiting for centuries. They will try to prevent the protector from reaching their purpose. You must be ready." Evan swallowed hard. "And if I fail?" Lyra's eyes softened. "You will not fail if you trust your instincts and work with those who support you. I will help you. And Mira will guide you. You are not alone." Evan nodded slowly. "Okay. I want to understand. Tell me everything." Mira took a deep breath. "The story begins long ago. Humans and my people were connected through trade and knowledge. Some of our civilizations traveled together. The protector was always meant to appear in times of crisis. When the mark appears, it is a sign that the protector is awake and ready. The protector is not born with skill in battle or leadership. Those come later. But the mark connects them to knowledge, guidance, and protection from forces they cannot yet see." Evan listened, trying to absorb every word. "And these forces, are they here now?" "Yes," Lyra said, her voice serious. "There are groups that fear the protector. One of them may already be near this station. That is why you must remain calm and alert. The tattoo will guide you, but you must act with care." Evan took a deep breath. "I don't know how to do any of this." Lyra smiled faintly. "That is why you will learn. You have courage, even if you do not realize it. And your mark, it is not only a symbol. It is connected to energy, knowledge, and protection. You will begin to feel it more as time passes." Mira stood and motioned toward the window. "Look outside. Do you see the ships moving in the docking bay?" Evan looked. "Yes, there are many. Some of them are traders, some are travelers, and some may be enemies in disguise. Your mark will sense them. It has already reacted to my presence. You may notice it react again when there is danger. You will not know why at first, but you will learn." Evan nodded. A mix of fear and excitement ran through him. He had never been a hero. He had never done anything important beyond fixing circuits. And now, somehow, he was being asked to step into a story much larger than himself. Lyra and Mira walked him through the station, showing him the areas that were critical to security. The station was built like a small city. There were docking bays, repair sections, living quarters, and command centers. They moved carefully, keeping to quieter corridors. "You must understand," Lyra said. "The protector is not only chosen to fight, they are also chosen to unite people. Humans, aliens, and all who respect life may need to work together. Your role will be to guide, not just defend." Evan's mind spun. "I am supposed to guide? I don't even know this place." Quote, "That is why you will learn," Mira said. "The Protector always learns quickly. Your instincts, your courage, and your mark will help you. Trust them." As they walked, Evan noticed that the tattoo on his arm seemed to pulse again. It was faint, but it felt like a small vibration. A warmth ran up his arm and into his chest. "It's happening again," he whispered. Lyra looked at him carefully. "Do you feel it moving toward something?" Evan closed his eyes. He focused on the sensation. It felt like it was guiding him down a certain hallway. "Yes. I think it wants me to go this way." Mira's eyes widened slightly. "Good. That means your mark is responding to a nearby presence. Be ready. It is likely an object or a force connected to the ancient story. You will understand more as you get closer." They followed the direction Evan felt. The hallway led them to a small storage section, rarely used. Lyra scanned the area with a handheld device. "Nothing unusual yet," she said. Evan's tattoo pulsed stronger. He stepped forward. "It's here," he said. He reached toward a small crate that looked ordinary. When he touched it, a faint light glowed from the tattoo, and the crate opened slightly. Inside was a small, ancient-looking device. It had markings similar to his tattoo, circular patterns etched into a material Evan did not recognize. Mira gasped. "It is real. The device of the ancient Protector. No one has seen it in centuries." Evan held it carefully. It was lighter than he expected, but it felt important. "What does it do?" he asked. Lyra studied the device. "It stores knowledge and energy. It can help the Protector see threats, guide allies, and unlock paths that are hidden. You are the first human to hold it in many generations." Evan's hands shook slightly. "I don't understand why this is happening to me." "Why me?" Mira smiled. "Because you were chosen. The mark chose you long before you realized it. That is why the tattoo appeared as a child. It was preparing you." As they spoke, the station's alarm sounded. Red lights flashed along the corridors. Lyra's eyes went sharp. Something is here. Something is trying to reach the station. Evan's tattoo pulsed violently. The warmth ran from his arm through his chest. He felt a pull toward the docking bays. "I think it's that way," he said. Lyra nodded. "Then we must move quickly. Protect the device and stay close to me." They ran through the corridors, Evan trying to keep up. He had never run like this before. The weight of the moment pressed on him. But he felt strangely alert. The tattoo pulsed again, guiding him, showing him which turns to take and which doors might be blocked. When they reached the docking bay, they saw a small ship, sleek and dark, trying to dock without identification. Lyra frowned. "The Vorak," she whispered. "They are coming. They want something on this station." Evan's heart pounded. The tattoo glowed brighter, reacting to the presence of the ship. He realized that this was what Mira and Lyra had meant. Danger had arrived, and he was already sensing it before anyone else. The docking bay doors began to open. Lyra drew her blade. "Stay behind me," she said. "We do not know what they intend." Evan followed, feeling a mix of fear and determination. The tattoo's warmth guided him, giving him small flashes of insight where to move, where danger might appear. Even which panels could provide cover. He felt connected to something greater than himself, something beyond the station, beyond the galaxy. As the first signs of the Vorak ship's crew appeared, Evan realized he could not run from this. The Protector's mark was real. He was part of this story, and even though he did not know how to fight, he understood that his courage, his instincts, and his tattoo would guide him in ways he had never imagined. For the first time in his life, Evan felt ready to face the unknown. The danger was real, but so was the mark. And in that moment, he knew that he was no longer just a technician. He was part of a story that was older than the stars themselves. The Vorak ship hovered just outside the docking bay. Its black hull reflected the station lights, and strange symbols glowed faintly along its surface. Evan could feel his tattoo pulsing strongly, as if warning him of the danger. The warmth ran up his arm and into his chest. He had never felt anything like this before. Lyra's eyes narrowed as she studied the approaching ship. "They are trying to board. They want the ancient device," she said. "We cannot let them take it." Evan swallowed hard. He had never faced a real threat like this. His hands shook slightly as he touched the device, hidden under his jacket. It pulsed faintly, as if responding to the Vorak presence. He felt a strange sense of connection, like the device was speaking to him without words. "Stay close," Lyra said. She drew her curved blade, which shimmered in the docking bay light. "We will hold them off." "Well, we will hold them off." The first Vorak warriors appeared. They moved quickly and silently, their dark suits blending with the shadows. Each carried a small, sharp weapon, but it was clear they had not expected anyone to fight back. Lyra stepped forward, blocking their path. Evan froze for a moment. He had never held a weapon like that. Then, the tattoo pulsed violently. He felt a sudden pull toward a control panel near the bay wall. Without thinking, he ran toward it and touched the interface. Lights flickered as the device responded, and a low hum filled the air. Lyra glanced at him, surprised. "Evan, what are you doing?" I think it can help," Evan said. The tattoo pulsed as if guiding him. His fingers moved over the controls, following instinct. Suddenly, a barrier of energy formed around the docking bay, shimmering like a thin wall of light. The Vorak stopped, confused. Their weapons struck the barrier, but could not penetrate it. Lyra's eyes widened. "You did that?" Evan nodded, breathless. "I think my tattoo is connected to it. It showed me how." The Vorak hesitated. Their leader, a taller figure with a dark helmet, raised a hand. Strange symbols glowed along his suit, and a pulse of energy shot toward the barrier. The energy struck the shield, making it vibrate. Evan's tattoo glowed even brighter. He felt the warmth flow from his arm into his body, giving him focus. He pressed his hands against the controls instinctively, strengthening the barrier. Lyra fought beside him, blocking Vorak warriors who tried to climb past the shield. Her blade moved quickly, precise and deadly. She looked at Evan, impressed. "You are stronger than you think," she shouted. Evan felt the pulse of the tattoo guiding him. Small flashes of insight came to his mind, where the enemies would move, where the weak points were, even which parts of the docking bay could help them escape if needed. He had never experienced anything like this. Fear was still there, but it was mixed with a strange confidence. One of the Vorak warriors broke past a side door and ran toward the device. Lyra moved to intercept, but Evan's tattoo pulsed strongly again. He felt a sudden instinct and lunged forward, grabbing a small control lever. A beam of energy shot from the device, hitting the warrior and knocking him back without serious harm. The Vorak froze, shocked by the unexpected defense. Lyra glanced at Evan. "You are doing it without even thinking." "Incredible." Evan shook his head. "I'm just following it. My tattoo. It tells me what to do." The Vorak leader growled and raised a strange weapon that emitted bright red pulses. The energy hit the barrier, causing a ripple of light. The shield flickered but held. Evan felt the tattoo's warmth grow stronger. He closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the pulsing energy. Slowly, the barrier stabilized, stronger than before. "Keep it steady," Lyra shouted. "We cannot let them break through." Evan's hands moved automatically. The tattoo seemed to communicate with the device directly. He could sense the Vorak movements, as if he could see them through the shield. Every time one tried to attack, the energy deflected or guided him to the right control. The Vorak leader growled again. He motioned to two of his warriors, who disappeared into a side corridor. Evan felt the tattoo pull him toward the same corridor. "They are coming around the side," he shouted. Lyra nodded. "Then we will meet them." They ran together down the side corridor. The walls were narrow, but the Vorak could not expect two defenders who moved so fast. Lyra's blade cut through their weapons, while Evan used the energy pulses from the device to create small barriers and knock the attackers off balance. The tattoo guided his hands and mind, and he realized that it could sense danger before it happened. One of the Vorak tried to grab the device from Evan's jacket. Evan instinctively pressed his hand against the tattoo. A wave of energy shot from it, pushing the enemy backward. The warrior crashed against the wall and slid to the floor. The other Vorak stopped and stared, unsure of what to do next. "You are amazing," Lyra said, panting. "I have never seen anyone do that." Evan shook his head, feeling both scared and exhilarated. "I'm just following it. I don't know why it works." "It doesn't matter why," Lyra said. "It works. That is enough. Come, we need to secure the docking bay before more arrive." They moved back to the main area. Evan could feel the tattoo pulsing in rhythm with the energy barrier. The Vorak outside seemed to hesitate, confused by the defenses. Lyra glanced at him. "You are not just a protector in name. You are showing skill and courage. We will need both for what comes next." Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the station. One of the docking bay doors had been hit by an energy pulse from the Vorak ship. Sparks flew from the damaged panels. Evan felt the tattoo pull him toward the breach. "This way," he shouted, running to a control panel near the broken door. He touched the controls, and the device responded immediately. A wave of energy extended from the panel, sealing the breach temporarily. The Vorak outside hissed in frustration. Lyra moved quickly, blocking any warriors who tried to climb through. "You are learning fast," she said, breathing hard. "The tattoo is guiding you. But you must trust your instincts too." Evan nodded. He could feel the connection to the device growing stronger. The tattoo seemed to act like a link between him and the energy field. Every time a Vorak moved, the tattoo pulsed in warning. Every time the device needed power, the tattoo guided his hand. Another group of Vorak tried to approach from a lower corridor. Lyra turned to Evan. "Can you manage them?" Evan nodded, feeling a surge of confidence. He pressed his hand against the device. The tattoo glowed brightly, sending energy waves that blocked the corridor. The Vorak collided with the barrier and fell back. Their leader shouted, frustrated that his plan was failing. Lyra moved beside Evan. "You are doing more than I imagined. I feared you would be unprepared, but you are proving yourself." Evan smiled faintly, though he was still out of breath. "I just follow the tattoo. It tells me what to do." The two of them stood together, side by side. The docking bay was quiet for a moment, except for the low hum of the device and the pulsing of Evan's tattoo. The Vorak were regrouping outside, clearly planning their next move. Lyra studied the situation. "They will come again, and likely with more force. We need to move the device to a safer location. Follow me." Evan nodded. The tattoo pulsed softly, as if agreeing. He carefully held the device, feeling its warmth through his hands. The energy inside seemed connected to him now, as if the protector's mark and the device were linked in a way he could feel physically. They moved through the station's corridors, careful to avoid the Vorak patrols outside. The tattoo pulsed lightly, warning him of potential dangers. Evan realized that he was not afraid anymore. Not completely. The mark gave him courage and guidance he had never known. When they reached a secure chamber, Lyra placed the device on a reinforced pedestal. "This is safer," she said. "It will protect itself here better than anywhere else on the station." Evan set it down carefully, watching it pulse softly. He felt a strange pride. He had never imagined that a simple technician could do anything like this. The tattoo had guided him, but he had acted too. He was beginning to understand that he could rise to challenges, even when they seemed impossible. Lyra looked at him, her expression serious. "Evan, this was only the beginning. The Vorak will return, and there are more threats you will face. But today, you proved that you are more than you realize. The Protector is awake, and now the first step of your journey is complete." Evan took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the tattoo flow through him one last time. He had faced his first real danger and survived. He had learned that courage, instinct, and trust in his mark could overcome fear, and for the first time, he felt ready for whatever would come next. The docking bay lights returned to normal. Outside, the Vorak ship retreated, but the hum of tension remained. Evan knew this was only the beginning. The Protector's story was unfolding, and he was at the center of it. For now, he stood with Lyra, ready to face the unknown. And in that moment, Evan understood that he was no longer just a technician. He was something more. He was part of a story older than the stars, and his journey had only just begun.